All right, let's do this. Unscripted, unedited, and it shows at times. Let's start with Apple. So look at that. Look at that. I've only most of these charts I'm only looking at for the first time in after hours, so this is kind of fresh to me too. Look at that candle. We had buyers come in towards the end of the day. That is a hollow red reversal candle. It leans short-term bullish. It's a very nice flooring candle. So we're oversold RSI 26. It was like 23 at the low today. That is a flooring candle. So we've come down from 288. Today's low was 255. So $33 decline. That's probably it. Yep. Off we go again. Flash through some of these that don't matter. Agnico Eagle, almost a new historic high. Very impressive considering the fact that gold was flat. Up 2.4%. There was some big, I mean, the volume isn't really there, but you know, it's it's holding up well. I mean, it's a lot of chop, but yeah, underlying strength. American Eagle up 2%. First Majestic Silver, again, a reversal candle there leans short-term bullish. Although I still think the sector is still on the high end and prone to downside. Yeah, but semicons were down, AMD down for a fourth day. It's not oversold yet, clearly RSI 40, but you know, I mean, mostly it's just a lot of chop, a lot of consolidation after this big gap here. King of retail, Amazon 2%. Got to think it's got to break a new historic high, right? Earnings will be due late January. Barrick mining up 0.4, pretty good. You can argue that's a baby bull flag. I wouldn't be buying into it, but Boeing, not so great. I mean, it's mostly just a little bit of weakness. I wouldn't be concerned about it. And this gap down here, well, I haven't marked it yet, but not all gaps get filled in individual stocks, not stops. I mean, look, orange gap here never got fully filled. They don't always have to fill. Lava, it's kind of interesting. That's a bullish engulfing candle, 5%. You can argue all of this, 192 to 145. It's kind of just choppy, bullish consolidation. Note the 200-day as support. That's a pretty bullish candle. We haven't had one of those since, there's one there. But yeah, it's one of the best days of the year. Well, of the last year. Bank of America, up a percent. Earnings next week, probably. Don't quote me on that, though. Don't care about that today. Caterpillar, look, up 1.9%. It's impressive. D'Amico up 1.7%. Very impressive. Don't care about that. Cleveland Cliffs, more a case of dead cat bouncing after it was whacked yesterday on KeyBank's downgrade. Uh, Fractionally down in Coinbase. Short-term structure is a baby bull flag. That does lean pretty bullish. I think we're going to make a push for $300 here. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Decker's one of my key stocks. I keep saying stops. Oh my God, I'm tired. Is it the weekend yet? It's only, I guess it's Thursday, so I've only got one more day to go. But hey, I'm working Saturday. Of course, I'm working Saturday. I don't get days off. What a nightmare. Deckers, 4%. What did I say yesterday? Reversal candle, bullish, played out. Soft target 125, grander target 150. The more cautious will favor Nike. Disney a percent. Don't care. ET. Yeah, strong day for the energy stocks. Actually, look at this candle. This is good. Bullish above the 200-day. which it's been struggling to do for months. I think the yield's about 8%, which is very nice. Endeavour Silver down 3%, but that's a reversal candle, leans bullish for Friday. Ford, it was upgraded by, I think it was Piper Sandler. Their target is 16, so it was up 5% to 14.40. Freeport-McMoran down 2.3% because copper. Let's see if stock charts have updated yet. Yeah, okay. Copper settled down 7 cents to 5.75. It's just short-term cooling. That's all it is. Google. Wow. Didn't notice. Printed 330.32. That's a new historic high. It's a black candle, but it's a net. You got to see it as a net bullish day. It's a new historic high for Google. Wow. So not all the tech stocks were down today. Okay, here we go. This is one of my new stocks I think merits more attention. Home Depot. I said it 2 days ago. Look at this. Bullish engulfing candle. Played out yesterday initially, cooled back, mostly because the main market cooled back. Today's candle, early weakness, settled up 3%, big bullish engulfing candle above the 50-day. The first close above the 50-day since late September. Yeah, there. Back when it was 405. More importantly, and I did post this up during the day. I wasn't planning to, but I'm gonna put up the weekly chart for Home Depot. Look at this. Flooring, flooring, little washout, pushing up, bullish engulfing candle above the 10 MA. Even more important from a technical consideration, weekly momentum is ticking upwards and will turn positive not next week. Weekly momentum will turn positive as of Tuesday, January the 20th. And then in theory, we're going to be ticking up all the way into probably April or May. And in theory, basic target is around 390 to 400. I think we're going to see 400 in February with earnings. Earnings will come out around here. And then you can think, okay, look, we have a double top 425, 424. Can we break that? If we can break 420, well, let's just round it up. If we can print above 427, then we can start to look for 500. We still have issues with the consumer, of course, but this looks pretty straightforward into February. I would be a buyer. Hikla. Reversal candle down 1.5%, leans short-term bullish, but this looks vulnerable to at least calling back to the 50-day and 16s. Intel just cooling back 3.5%. The bold will be buying on every single cooling wave. Joby, second day down, just cooling wave. That's all it is. JP Morgan up 0.9. Earnings next Tuesday will be good. We know that. There's no question about it. KKR 2%. A lot of chop, but you got to think we're going to take out that high of 144 and then make a push for 153. Kinder Morgan up with oil. Don't really care about that one right now. Free, multi-year high up 2%. Impressive. Centrus Energy down. It was ironically upgraded, but the target price was 125. So it was a bullish upgrade, but they're only looking for 125, which is ironically here. So it's one of those weird cases where The stock's upgraded. I forget who it was. Maybe, yeah, I shouldn't guess who it was, but somebody uh, upgraded them today. But their target is down here. The original target was like $90 or something. Bullish nuclear. So yesterday, Trump said he wants to restrict dividends and buybacks. Smash. What a rough day. Today, of course, now he says, I want a $1.5 trillion defense budget in 2027. And Lockheed was up 8% early morning, new multi-year high of 542, but it did cool back to 518. I would expect, of course, renewed upside. But yeah, today's black candle does suggest that Friday will open red. Also note that look at yesterday's candle where it floored or where it settled at the gap. Some interesting candles here. Bullish engulfing played out. Spiky candle exhaustion played out yesterday. Black candle on Trump talk. Black candle's probably going to be red, at least briefly tomorrow. All right, what else? I don't care about that. MP materials. The cautious will actually not cautious, but yeah, it's going up midterm. You got to be bullish rare earths. Microsoft don't care. Micron, just a bit of cooling with the sector. Netflix down 0.2%. It did print a new not multi-year, but a new multi-month low. It's getting close to the A482s. Also note that yesterday's black candle played out, as they usually do. I mean, I would accept that RSI is 29, it's oversold, but there's no definitive sign of a floor. The cautious are going to want to be buying when it breaks above the 50-day, which will be around 97 in early February. Nike. So Nike was down 2% in pre-market. I called it. The buyers piled in. Nike closed up 3.2%. It's not quite a bullish engulfing candle, but it's a very good sign for the bulls. You gotta think, hey, look, we're heading for $70 before the end of the month. And then once we go above 70, the target will be 90. You could argue that maybe the secondary target should be 79 to 80, but you know, it looks pretty good. Remember, Tim Cook bought here. The CEO was news of the CEO buying was around here. So we have two interesting news stories here. By the way, yeah, this red gap, I do not expect it to be tagged. Today's candle is distinctly bullish. Nvidia down 2%, just a little bit of cooling. Yesterday's candle was black, which played out. Oklo, a little bit of chop. Actually, look at that. Settled precisely flat at the 50-day. You gotta have to think this will take out that high there, 193 from October, which is 100% up. Probably going to take months though to do it, right? It's not like it's going to do it in February or March. Might take until late summer. Orbs don't care. I really should probably delete that chart soon. I don't care about OWL. Yeah, Occidental swinging around, up 5.5% with oil printing 58s. Again, there's talk about US seizing two ships, and yeah, I don't know. Broadly, this stock is a chop fest. Pan American Silver down 0.5%, reversal candle. Short-term bullish at least for part of Friday. Palantir down 2.5%. It does qualify partly as a defense stock. Michael Berry will be pleased, but again, it's a lot of chop, right? In my view, it's not a good short. PayPal, just degradation, right? It's terrible. There is nothing good here. Nothing good. QuantumScape, don't care. Red Cat, yeah, Red Cat up 13%. Again, this is on hopes of a massively increased defense budget with drones and anything else you can imagine they want to build. I will say I did check today, and I found out that Red Cat's market cap is around 1.4 billion, and I thought ONDS would be smaller market cap, and actually it's 5 billion. So the more cautious people, they're going to go with Ondas rather than Red Cat. I'll just type in Ondas, ONDS. Yeah, that was up 15%. Also, the stock it's a much cleaner moving stock. Look at this. Wave up, retracement in November, and then a new cycle high. Whereas Red Cat is big wave up, wave down, but we're way below the October high. So Ondas is catching more attention. Interesting. Next up, Rig, don't care. Rocket Lab. Actually, that's a new historic high this morning. But it did cool back, so new historic high, but settled down 1.2% to 83. It's overbought. The cautious will not be chasing at this time. SMR, choppy, but leaning up. Yesterday's reversal candle played out up 1%. $19 is cheap. Cheap is hella cheap relative to 57s. I like it. Target, look at that, 2.6%. Soft target 115. Next target 145. Tesla, 1%, trying to floor. It is not oversold. There is a threat it could drop early Friday if the main market is down, but cyclically on the low end. I can understand people buying with a stop at today's low of 424. Take two, don't care. UAL, don't care. UEC. Gotta be bullish uranium, right? Ah, of course. I'm almost filled by depression when I look at this chart because I don't own it. I should. I guess you could argue that look, there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time for me to jump on board somewhere, maybe around 400. If I can get on board by 400 and ride it to 470. There's a trade there. There's multiple trades, but look at it, 346. It's on the way. It's on the way to green zone. We know that's got to happen. Exxon. Yeah, this was reflective of energy stocks this afternoon. We had a good kick upwards, 3.7%. New historic highs are coming, right? I think that's the only yeah, it's the last one. Okay, I haven't covered gold or silver yet. Okay, stock, unlike yesterday, stock charts is updated. Right, so gold settled up 17 bucks, 0.4%, still below the recent high. Momentum remains fractionally negative. It feels tired. On a weekly chart, you could argue this is some kind of bull flag, but I would be concerned that one, we're on the really high end, and that momentum. Okay, look, momentum is flatlining. So you could even argue that momentum could tick back up, and gold could get to 5K. I would accept that's possible. I'm hoping instead that gold and silver will cool back, but my confidence is not so good when I see that. And for silver, silver officially settled down $1.50, 1.9%. That was the second day down. We are above a 10 MA still, but not a great candle. And look at this momentum, daily momentum in silver is prone to turning negative either tomorrow or next Monday. And that we're on the high end, right? When we get a when we get a bearish cross, we could tick down for like a good 3 weeks, and that could get you down to at least the 50-day. The 50-day is currently 59. Of course, that's going to be around maybe 62 late January rather. We could easily, I think silver has the risk is that silver drops 10 to 15 bucks maybe back down to, 60. There's a lot of support around 54, huge support around 54, 54, 55, 56, 58. It'll be very difficult to get it under that. But short term, it looks vulnerable. This looks to be a short term top. I am biased because I'm not in the position, and I'm not going to short it, but I would like to buy it back much cheaper in early Feb. I'm just looking at my list. I think I've covered everything I want to cover, except to say for tomorrow. And do I want to highlight it? I guess I will. Why not? Why can't I highlight my hourly chart? Look at this. So it is a bear flag, and in theory, you can extrapolate down. That would get us into yellow gap early Friday. I'm only looking for a tag. I don't even expect it to be um, fully filled to 58, but so again, it's a bit of a. I would be open to. I'm inclined to see a little bit of weakness early Friday on the jobs data, but if the market, let's be quite clear, if the market likes the jobs data, we only need to go up 44 points to break a new historic high. That's all. So we could, if the market wants to surprise the most amount of people, it will actually just jump us up to a new historic high in pre-market on the jobs data. And then we'll either print 7K tomorrow or a more viable Monday, Tuesday when the financials start to report. But yeah, it is a bear flag on an hourly chart for the S&P. Oh, and the other thing maybe I should highlight. Yeah, I'll cover this. No, again, I know most of you don't care. I know you don't. Transports, bullish engulfing candle, up 1.1%, back above 18K again. On a monthly chart, the all-time high is 18,246, and that's almost a rogue candle. So you can argue that we're already well into historic territory now. We're already breaking up and away. So we've been chopping around for 5 years. 20K looks pretty easy. Not in February, maybe March or April. And if transports, the old leaders going up, the rest of the indexes will follow to some extent. And I think on that note, I will end it there. So I wish you a entertaining evening and good Friday. Be good.